Alright, folks, let's dive into the Eagles' 53-man roster prediction, taking into account the recent training camp updates. I'm here to give you my take on who's making the cut and why. Now, I'm not just spitting out facts, I'm bringing my personal insights and commentary to the table. So, let's get into it. First things first, the offense. At quarterback, Jalen Hurts is looking solid, embracing the new offensive direction under Sean Mannion. The battle for the backup spot is intense, with Andy Dalton and Cole Payton in the mix. Dalton's arm strength is a concern, but he's comfortable in the offense. Payton, on the other hand, has been throwing interceptions left and right, but he's shown enough promise to keep him around. Now, I think the Eagles might trade McKee to a team desperate for quarterback help. Moving on to the running backs, Saquon Barkley is looking as good as ever. Tank Bigsby had an awesome off-season, and the Eagles need to find ways to get him more involved. Shipley is in danger, but the coaching staff might value him more than fans do. Dameon Pierce has flashed as a runner, pass catcher, and kick returner, and he might push for the RB3 role. Elijah Mitchell and Carson Steele are fighting an uphill battle, but the Eagles kept 4 running backs last year, so anything can happen. At wide receiver, Devonta Smith is a lock, despite missing most of training camp with a hamstring injury. Dontavian Wicks has taken advantage of Smith's absence, making a lot of catches and earning Hurts' trust. Darius Cooper is making plays every day, and he deserves a spot. McKee Lemon, a 2026 first-round pick, has had a disappointing off-season, missing practices, and not impressing. Hollywood Brown is a tough cut, given the $5 million guaranteed, but maybe a trade is on the table. Johnny Wilson has had a good camp as a pass catcher, bringing value as a big blocking receiver. Now, the tight ends. Dallas Goedert had a solid to good camp, and Munt is clearly the T2. Cam Latu is a stud on special teams and can block, while Eli Stowers had his best 2 days recently, but it's a low bar to clear. E.J. Jenkins is on the bubble, and Daquan Wright might come alive in the preseason games. Moving to the offensive line, the starters are set, but there are some concerns. Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, and Cam Jurgens have been load managing, and Lane Johnson is returning after some time away, possibly retiring after the 2026 season. The backup situation is fluid, with Michael Bell taking first-team representatives when Johnson isn't there. Fred Johnson is a veteran presence, but hasn't had a good summer. Maybe a trade is on the table. On defense, the Eagles could have the best starting cornerback trio in the NFL. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Rick Woolen are looking solid. Jonathan Jones has inside-out experience, and Kale Ringo can help on special teams. Mac McWilliams hasn't locked up a roster spot, and Jacorian Bennett is unlikely to make the team. At safety, Andrew Mukuba, Marcus Epps, and Michael Carter too have had good camps. All the concern about the safety position is overblown. Andre Sam gets a lot of representatives, but is more like a quad-A player. Cole Wisniewski has missed a lot of time due to injury, and Maximus Pulley has made some plays. The Eagles might keep at least one of their undrafted rookie free agents. Special teams-wise, Jake Elliott is 19/20 on kicks this summer, but it's hard to believe his struggles are truly behind him. Braden Mann is solid as the punter. The Eagles need a long snapper, and Rocco Underwood has had some struggles, so they might look for another snapper after roster cuts. In terms of injuries, Cole Wisniewski and Keyshawn James Newby are currently banged up, and the Eagles might use up to 2 IR stash designations. Maybe they look to stash Bernard with one of these this season. Finally, the practice squad. RB Dameon Pierce, WR Elijah Moore, WR Britton Covey, T. E. J. Jenkins, T. Daquan Wright, OT John Ojukwu, OG Jaden Roberts, CG Jake Majors, Edge Jose Ramirez, Edge Joshua Weru, Ditty Gabe Hall, Pound Deontay Lawson, CB McWilliams, SJT Gray, Escapina Gushikan, and LS Rocco Underwood are all contenders. The international exemption goes to DTUAR Bernard if he makes the practice squad. So, there you have it, folks. My 53-man roster prediction, with a lot of personal commentary and analysis. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to disagree in the comments.